This was the moment the EU's most powerful leaders came face to face with the reality of war on their continent. In Irpin, which like Bucha has become a synonym for the barbarity of this conflict, they saw the consequences of the short-lived Russian occupation.
Massacres were carried out. We have seen signs of war crimes. It's also a heroic place, because this is where the Ukrainian people halted the Russian army as it advanced towards Kiev.
It was the first time Emmanuel Macron, Mario Draghi and Olaf Scholz had set foot in Ukraine since Russia sent its war machine rolling across the border on the 24th of February. On Wednesday, the French president had hinted about going, but the trio were already well on their way to Kyiv aboard a night train when details of the trip finally emerged.
There appears to be no let-up in the battle for control of Ukraine's eastern industrial heartland, the Donbass, but the civilian toll is rising. The regional governor says at least 4 civilians were killed in an airstrike in the eastern Ukrainian city of Lysychansk as they sheltered at a cultural center. It's the latest city under Ukrainian control in the region after Russia seized almost full control of neighboring Severodonetsk. With the Russian campaign intensifying in Lysychansk now, people face a difficult question of whether to leave or stay.
It's a gruesome task. Rescue workers look for survivors under the rubble at this cultural center in Lysychansk. They come across some of the victims. The building sheltering dozens of people was destroyed in what the Luhansk regional governor says was a Russian airstrike.
The remains of the bullet that killed journalist SHireen Abu Akleh. This image is being broadcast for the first time and shows the type of ammunition used to kill the veteran Al Jazeera journalist in the occupied West Bank last month. According to experts, the green-tip bullet is capable of piercing armour and is used in an M4 rifle. When we simulated the green-tip bullet using 3D models, and according to ballistic and forensic experts, the munition that ended SHireen's life was a 5.56mm caliber. The bullet was first designed and manufactured in the United States. According to the Palestinian prosecutor's office and the autopsy report, the bullet entered the lower part of SHireen's head, ricocheted off her helmet and lodged itself in her head.
North Korea on Thursday announced a new infectious disease outbreak, even as the country battles to contain its first wave of COVID-19. Pyongyang has not identified the new infection, but South Korean officials and experts have said it could be cholera or typhoid spreading in the water supply. So far, no details on how many people have been infected. According to North Korean state media, leader Kim Jong-un has sent medicine to help those suffering from the, quote, acute enteric epidemic. Enteric meaning to do with the gastrointestinal system. The outbreak is spreading in a key agricultural region, and that has raised concerns it could make an already dire food shortage even worse.
French drone strikes killed nearly 40 Islamist militants earlier this week, the French army announced Thursday. In a statement, the French military called the strikes a tactical success. It said the militants were traveling on motorcycles between Niger and Burkina Faso. Niger's government also issued a statement saying the fighters were killed after an attack earlier this week in which 8 security forces died in the southwest of the country. The drone strikes in Niger come as France reorganizes its military efforts in the Sahel region, where thousands of its troops are taking part in Operation Barkhane.
Iran has hosted millions of Afghan refugees over the past few decades. 800,000 are officially registered, but estimates suggest at least 3 million more illegal migrants currently live in the country. Around 5,000 Afghans are believed to cross into Iran each day through the porous border. Most of them are fleeing their country in search of work or to make their way through Iran to eventually reach Europe. And Tehran is offering temporary residence permits to any refugees who take part in the month-long census. But those who snub the census will be deprived of all civil rights and be immediately deported.
Disgraced actor Kevin Spacey is back in London, charged with 4 counts of sexual assault. His lawyer told a packed courtroom that he strenuously denies any wrongdoing. Ellie Walsh was at the hearing.
Two-time Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey is well-versed in delivering a line.
Mr Spacey, are you confident of proving your innocence?
Yet today, there was silence.
Mr Spacey, what do you have to say to your accusers?
The man who's walked so many red carpets was instead mocked, walking into a magistrate's court.
Keep moving! Keep moving!
The Hollywood star returning to Britain from his home in the United States to face 4 counts of sexual assault and 1 count of sexual penetration without consent. The allegations relate to 3 men and are alleged to have taken place in London and Gloucestershire between 2005 and 2013.